Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
I'm Sheila Fossen.
I'm Greg Fossen.
I'm Robin Hackett.
You're still muted, Ernest, you're still muted.
Well, thank you, Greg. I'm just right on time then. And I'm Dr. Ernestine Garcia, and I'll be doing the reading today.
And Sheila and I are the producers.
Yes, and do a great job. Let's start out with evocation. So join me in that sacred place where we are one in the infinite eternal life of pure spirit, recognizing that oneness and that allness and that isness of spirit, living and having its being as each one of us, as each person that's tuned in today, and indeed all those on this planet and beyond. That perfection that is this service today, a perfection that is each person catching exactly what they need to catch and giving exactly what they need to give. I know this day is a blessing. I rejoice in my oneness with God and oneness with all life. And for this and so much more, I'm eternally grateful. Grateful for life, grateful to be here and able to do this service. Grateful, just grateful. And in this absolute perfection of gratitude, I can now release, let go, and simply allow it to be. And together let us say,
And so it is.
All right. We ready for some music?
Yes.
All right, let's rock it on.
While I was sitting here, this little chant popped into my mind way back from my past, and I haven't rehearsed it. It's going to be what it's going to be. So
It's going to be great.
There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. My life now. God's life now is perfect.
That's the way to start things out. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're going to take a few minutes to take care of some business, and we'll be back to you shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Robin.
So do you remember when we were at the convention? I think we were in Los Angeles, and Reverend Edward had everybody that was in the room repeat that 118 times. Oh my gosh, it was powerful. So that just really brought that back for me this morning. I know. It was just, thank you so much, Robin. That was really, really great. And just such a good memory for me also.
Yeah.
So like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro. Go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org. Out there you can get all the things that we're doing. The titles are out there. The links for Facebook and YouTube for watching the service are out there. I always put the affirmations and the prayers out there too, so they're available. You can request prayer, and we'll pray on your prayer requests all week. And
Yes.
so also there's Reverend Michael's blogs are out there, and it's time for a new one. But there's some really good ones out there. If you haven't read them yet, they're all worth reading. So if you shop on Amazon and you haven't signed up to support a nonprofit yet, go to smile.amazon.com, and we'd love it if you'd select CSL North Metro as the nonprofit that you support, and then when you shop, we get paid. So today's title is Your Secret Word. We've already met our wonderful musician, Robert Hackett, and today's reading is from The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes.
And there's our reader.
Yay. Good morning. I am so honored and so blessed to be the reader. We usually start with the affirmations, and so I'm going to just go ahead and begin. And the affirmations for the week of August 14, 2022 by Stephan Anthony. Please repeat after me. I experience the gift of a rising consciousness each new moment.
I experience the gift of a rising consciousness each new moment.
I am open now to new awakenings in my life.
I am open now to new awakenings in my life.
Joy fills my day from beginning to end, always.
Joy fills my day from beginning to end, always.
There is inspiration revealed in all that I experience.
There is inspiration revealed in all that I experience.
I see the oneness of spirit in the beauty of the world around me.
I see the oneness of spirit in the beauty of the world around me.
God's deep and powerful love is the core of my existence.
God's deep and powerful love is the core of my existence.
And together we say,
and so
it
is.
All right. And as Reverend Valerie mentioned, today's reading is from The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. I am a center in the divine mind, a point of God-conscious life, truth, and action. My affairs are divinely guided and guarded into right action, into correct results. Everything I do, say, or think is stimulated by the truth. There is power in this word that I speak because it is of the truth and it is the truth. There is perfect and continuous right action in my life and in my affairs. All belief in wrong action is dispelled and made negative. Right action alone has power, and right action is power, and power is God, the living Spirit Almighty. This Spirit animates everything that I do, say, or think. Ideas come to me daily, and these ideas are divine ideas. They direct me and sustain me without effort. I am continuously directed. I am compelled to do the right thing and the right time, to say the right word at the right time, to follow the right course at all times. And together we say, And so
So
it
it
is.
Wow, that was powerful.
That was powerful. Thank you, Ernestine.
Speaking of powerful, here's Robin.
Uh-huh.
There she is.
When I woke up this morning and I opened up my eyes and I stared out the window, and what to my surprise was a snow-covered hill and the earth standing still for all to see. And I said to myself, what a precious world I'm in, where each moment is a lifetime and a new life can begin. And we have the power, the light and the life that ever ends. And I am as you are, and we are the universal seed. And all this creation is born out of what you believe. Believe. And I do believe, yes, I do believe. So hold in your heart all that you desire, and what you never wanted, let it burn in the fire, 'cause you have the power to plant any flower and watch it bloom. And I am as you are, and we are the universal seed. And all this creation is born out of what we believe. Believe, believe. And I do believe, yes, I do believe. And I do believe, yes, I do believe. Believe, believe.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So powerful, so beautiful. Okay, we'll see you in a bit.
Okay, all right.
So here we are again, basking in the goodness and the allness of pure spirit, living our lives fully with joy and power, knowing that all that we do is done through God, and God is done through all that we do. And so we're going to tap into something that is basic science of mind. And what I know about anything that you learn and want to embody in your life is repetition. it's through repetition of anything that we do that we get better at. And there's no end to the repeating of any ideas or any philosophies or any ways of being. So today I'd like to talk about the word, because it's an important part of the teachings of Science of Mind. And some of this stuff may seem like it's repetitive to those that have been around for a long time, but again, we can't say anything enough to help us embody and strengthen that which is the truth within us. The first line of the Bible is, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word. God was the Word. Think about that. We express this thing, this teaching, the fullness of this teaching as one word, the Word. And the Word is within us because God is within us. And the Word can sometimes be hidden in some secret place and have an effect on our life. I don't know, there's those in this room that'll remember this, and I don't know, there's probably some young people that aren't familiar with what I'm about to share, but there was a show on TV many, many years ago. I was a kid when it was on, and it was called You Bet Your Life. It was by this crazy man by the name of Groucho Marx. And he was one of the Marx brothers who made many films, and they were really funny. Anyway, this TV show started out with Groucho and a duck next to him with a cigar out of its beak, and hanging from the duck was a word, and he would say that this is the secret word, and those that say this word will get $100. So, and then the duck goes up into the rafters. So the contestants come out, and if they happen to mention the word in their conversations and everything, then they automatically split $100. And I got a kick out of it because I went to YouTube to watch one of the shows there, and it brings back some fond memories. But I got a kick out of Groucho sitting there with this duck with a cigar out of its mouth, because Groucho did the whole show with a cigar out of his mouth. But the thing that I compare it to is in the rafters of our consciousness, there are words that can trigger things in our life, and they're just hidden away. And in a sense, they're secret. They're secret to us because we haven't taken the time to look at and see how this word can affect our lives. I grew up with a lot of stepfathers. My mom, bless her heart, got married 9 times, and we lived through all those 9 gentlemen. I use that word loosely, and so there was never any love. It was kind of a hate relationship with every single one of my stepfathers, because somehow they had the same idea of me, and it wasn't like they knew each other and passed it on from guy to guy, but they had this idea of me that I was worthless, and because I didn't live the life that they wanted me to live. I wasn't the person that they wanted me to be, so they used this word worthless, and it kind of went back into my rafters and stayed there for a lot of my life until I came into this teaching. And I learned that this word affected everything I did. It caused me to think that I wasn't smart, or I didn't have a reason in life. And I had to find a place in order to find it. And if we don't take the time in our lives to reach up into the rafters and pull down whatever's hidden them there and expose them, then we have these experiences over and over again. They keep happening in our lives. And for a lot of us, we may say, why? Why is this happening? And by saying why, you're engaging in the answer. Because if you want to know why,
I'll show you.
and it's repetitive. So it's up to us to find that place where we change the repetition of the word by announcing and declaring the opposite of what that word is. So if it's worthiness, it's worthy. I'm worthy for all the greatness that is mine to have. I'm worthy to move into this world with an open heart, with a powerful energy behind me, because I'm one with God, and nothing can ever prevent that from changing. My oneness with God is my power, and my word is my power, because in the beginning was my word. And that gets into the whole idea of subjective and objective, conscious and unconscious, because where those rafters are really our unconscious mind.
And they're really sneaky.
They're really sneaky.
Yeah.
They'll come out.
Sneak right back in there. You think you're done? No,
Right.
not so much.
So it's in the unconscious mind that keeps these patterns that we've accepted,
Mm-hmm.
and not really through any fault of our own, because most of it happens in our childhood. Most of the things that we've clung on to happened at an early age of our lives. So in the subconscious mind, it keeps showing and doing and repeating the same thing over and over again until we wake up and recognize that that's taking place, and consciously, because that's where the change is taking place in our lives, is through our conscious mind. We consciously change it by declaring our word. And whatever that means to you, whatever that word is, it's yours to repeat and to continue to build upon that word until, well, it never goes away. You like to think it goes away, but like Reverend Valerie said, every once in a while, you think you're there, and it'll sneak right in and show you, I'm still around. You dusted me off, but I'm not going anywhere.
But you address it at a different level.
Yes,
As we go along.
that's right.
Yeah.
And the level comes from, again, the repetition of you declaring the truth for yourself, knowing that always in the beginning is the word, and the word will move and have its way through you as you speak it and declare it, and have other people speak it and declare it for you. When I came in as teaching, I was amazed at everything that was there for me to use in my spiritual community. We had practitioners, which I immediately found one, and that practitioner worked with me to help me make the changes in my life that I wanted to change. That practitioner was there when I needed her, and advised me, and it was one of my great teachers. And then we had all these classes that you can take. It was just every means of using the word in every possible way right here available to you.
And for those that don't know what practitioners are, would you?
What you do?
Well, so Reverend Michael just talked about the classes, and there's a series of beginning classes that people take, because for me, the classes were the way that helped me change the most, because I was doing the reading every week, and then we were getting together and talking about it. And so I was in a very safe, conscious group and able to bring that stuff up that was coming up in my life and work through it like in class. And to take it a little deeper, after that training, then there comes a training that's called Practitioner Training, which is the Centers for Spiritual Living's version of a spiritual counselor. But we call them licensed practitioners because they're practicing. And we're all practitioners because we're practicing, but these particular practitioners are licensed to help others practice.
There you go.
And then we're always practicing.
Right. Because we have the opportunity to change our life, become something more than we've ever possibly thought we could be. I was watching this woman interview another woman on one of the news shows, and the woman that was being interviewed made a statement, and then the young woman that was interviewing her says, "That's the word," and the woman said, "What?" She says, "What you just said, that's the word." And I thought, wow, that's an interesting way of declaring that's the truth, because that's what it sounded like to me. She was saying that's the word, and in saying that, she was empowering the idea of the thought that this woman was talking about. So the word has so many departments, has so many layers, has so many ways of expressing to us through our prayer work, through our thoughts, through the company we keep, through so many different ways. There's this innate desire within each and every one of us that wants to be free of anything that's holding us back, that's keeping us from our highest and best good. And it's all done through the word, because the word is your word, and the word is you, because you are the word. Valerie?
So I want to talk about how we create what we believe. So whatever it is that's stuck in there, in the rafters, we're creating all of the time. And so sometimes we think, well, I did this thing right, and I did this thing right, and I did this thing right, and this thing's still happening. Why is that thing still happening? It's because there's a hidden belief in there that's still creating. And so one of the ways that we use to change those beliefs is what we call treatment, or a spiritual prayer. And what Ernest Holmes has to say about a treatment is a spiritual entity in the mental world and is equipped with power and volition. As much power and volition as there is faith in it, it is done in the mind of the one using it and operating through the law. So if we're doing that, and one of the things that we learn is how to do those prayers, and there's not a wrong way, but there are ways that are more effective to change the hidden beliefs and to bring things up. I forgot where I was going with that. Sorry. Shoot. So if we're just saying the words, and the little thing back there in the rafters is saying, oh, you can't have that. Oh, that isn't going to ever happen. Oh, you can't have that. What's really going to happen is, regardless of the words that you said, what's being believed is the little background noise. And so it's important when we're practicing our prayers, when we're having our practitioner sessions, when we're praying with a prayer partner, and I find that a really, really strong way to do a prayer and make changes. It's one thing when I pray for myself, and then it's another thing when I say to my prayer partner, okay, I want this and this and this and this. And then the power that that person puts into it up levels my belief in the word that she's saying, which creates an action because of the prayer.
Where two or more are gathered.
Correct.
So when you share your spirituality with another person, be it your mate, be it your practitioner, be it a prayer partner, you're coming together as two or more, and you're empowering it to the next degree of possibility. And each and every one of us are here to express the highest possibility that we can. And that high possibility is whatever is your experience in life. You are, we call this the science of mind, because you become the scientist, the laboratory, and the experiment. So science being that we can prove it to ourselves. We may not necessarily prove it to anybody else. It's not like the science where they discover something and everybody can say it's true whether you believe it or not. For us, we declare something as truth, and we see it unfold in our life, and we know that prayer works. We know that what we declare does work to the extent that we can believe, like Valerie said. So it's important to know that when you're speaking the word, who are you listening to?
Yes.
Who are you listening to?
Yes.
And I like to think I'm listening to, through, and as the Spirit of God. That in that moment that I declare something for myself, be it I am worthy, and I believe it to the fullest of my ability, then worthiness will show up in my life in some form, some way. It will show you the proof that what you're declaring is true. And the only way to know that this can happen or work for you is for you to use it.
Right.
For you to overuse it, to use it beyond anything else that may get in the way. Listen, and speak your word, because your word has power.
And sometimes we think we don't know, but the Spirit within us does know. The Spirit within us does know what is ours to do and what needs to happen. So if we're listening to the rafters, then we're not listening to that still small voice within that always knows, that still small voice within that when we're listening and when we're paying attention always lets us know what's the next thing to do and what's the right thing to do and when to do it and how to do it. Want to say more about that?
Well, again, it's the opportunity to use your word to empower. When you're given a gift through that silent, sacred speaker, the silent, sacred spirit that dwells as you, when it shows you something, it gives you a gift, then that's when you want to jump into motion and really start using your prayer work to empower it, to declare its truth as already being done and already revealing, already expressing through you in the highest form.
And Ernest Holmes puts it this way: there's something within us that can lead us and direct us if we will but let it. It is higher than the thought of any person. And so when we get stuck in our thoughts, one of the biggest tools that we use to get ourselves unstuck is that prayer. And we need to be very cognizant of the things that we're telling ourselves. And we also need to be very aware that when I'm saying these words and not believing these words, what's really going to happen is the not belief. What's really going to happen is where my energy is around the words. And so that's when it's really, really good to spread that out and have someone else say the words and someone else do the prayer, because that's what really helps. And I love this thing that Ernest Holmes said. He said, choose those images of thought which are constructive and helpful and would bring into our lives the happiness and harmony and the good we so greatly desire.
Mm.
So I don't know if it ever happens to you, but sometimes I find myself in a loop of thinking, oh, I shouldn't have done this thing. And oh, I wonder if they're mad at me now. And should I do this? And should I do that? And blah, 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 blah. And it could be that. It could be something else. It could, that just those things that run. And I think we all have those tracks of things, probably from the words in the rafters, of telling ourselves what we don't want. And when we tell ourselves what we don't want, we're absolutely going to get more of what we don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really important when we catch ourselves telling ourselves what we don't want to stop it and recognize we're more than that. The spirit within us does know. The spirit within us is the action, is the evolution, is the creator. It creates from the thoughts, the experience. And so what we believe, we create. And so we need to always be present with our thoughts, with the things that are running on in the background, and let those things go and use the tools that we have with classes, with having a prayer partner, with just praying. Sometimes it's just praying until you're through it. Sometimes it's going outside and digging in the garden a little while, or whatever the thing is that really brings the joy and brings the peace and brings the oneness forth. Because maybe if I stay in the house and sit and think, oh, blah, 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 if I go out in the garden and start working, it always changes things. Just being in nature always changes things for me. So there are so many tools and things that we can use when we find ourselves getting stuck. And knowing that we're also here to have experiences to grow through. And none of that is bad or wrong. It's just we came here to learn certain things and to do certain things, and we get the opportunity to grow past that. And so for me, this teaching is just an amazing, marvelous way to understand that each one of us, each and every one of us is perfect, whole, and complete right here, right now, right in the exact way we are, doing the exact thing that we're doing. And we get the opportunity to make new choices that make things happier and better and work better.
So sometimes when I was first into this teaching, it could seem overwhelming because, okay, I got to look for the word, I got to do this, I got to do that. And it just seems like a busyness to it. But once you understand how life works, how the use of your own power works, then there's a clarity and there's an easing of this busyness, because it could look what we just talked about and everything we were saying that we can do to change our lives can look like extreme busyness, but it really isn't. It's as simple as what Valerie said. If something's going on and you can't get out of your mind, go out to the garden, go out for a walk, call your grandkids.
That'll do it.
Do something that changes the energy that you're experiencing in the moment, and then you can get back into the place where you can declare the truth for yourself and know that all the silliness of worry and running around trying to fix things and just that energy that is not necessary in your life, you can change that, because you are the change. You are the substance. Yes. You are the perfection of the universe. You are made in God's likeness and image. Think about that. You're made in God's likeness and image. To me, what that means is, as God does, so do I. As God creates with the Word, because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word. In the beginning, I was the, in the beginning, I am the Word. In the beginning, you are the Word.
Yes.
And the Word is who you are. And the Word is what keeps you, sustains you, maintains you, and allows you to grow and unfold and become the perfection that you are. So just think about it for a second. Close your eyes. And allow something to float up to your consciousness that may be a little thorn in your side. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something big. But just allow that to come up. And just allow one word to describe it. Just a single word that describes it. And see that word in your mind written out in print. And now see that print start to transform into something more beautiful, more perfect than what that word meant to you. And see it transforming into this beautiful experience, this beautiful happening, this beautiful insight. And just allow it to form itself in your thoughts and your being. And know that which has been transformed into something greater will continue to expand and get embodied in your life. And you can move on free, with a free spirit, knowing that nothing can hurt, harm, or endanger you ever.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that is keeping you back, be it lack, be it pain, be it hurt, cannot coexist in the goodness of who you are. Know this truth. There is only one.
Yes.
That one is God. That God is perfect. Perfect in all its creation. The stars, the galaxies, the meteorites, the emptiness. It is all God. It is all good. And right where you are, right where I am, God is in his fullness. Lacking nothing, limited by nothing, bound by nothing, restricted by nothing, free and open, joyful, peaceful, abundantly supplied, and all your needs met. Right where you are. And there's nothing else to do but accept it. So right in this moment, inwardly say, I accept the good of life as my life. I accept the joy of life as my life. I accept the goodness of life as my life. As I accept this for myself, I'm a transformational power moving through this planet. Everyone I touch, everyone I come in contact with, everyone I think about, it rises to that highest level of goodness, of grace, of joy, of freedom in their life. And so I consciously move through this life, knowing who I am. Right this very moment, I declare the God that I am is guiding me, directing me, sustaining me, maintaining me. I accept this fully. I accept it fully. I am that I am.
Yes.
I am that I am.
Yes.
Valerie?
And so I just add to this word, this surrounding Harold in his path back to wellness, and surrounding Lana and that absolute love and that power and that presence that knows that each one of them is divinely guided, and that health and wealth and and well-being is theirs. And so in absolute gratitude for each one of us, for the part we play on this planet, I just know for each of us that right where we are, God is. And I surround Jake in his wholeness, in his healing, in his wellness. And I know for each of us that same wholeness. And so in absolute gratitude for knowing this word is done, I simply release it. I let it go. I allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Amen. Ho. And woohoo!
Valerie, you could say that every time I see you, that whoo, that makes me so happy every single time. It always brings a smile to my face. Thank you. Be the peace you want to see. Share your peace with everyone you meet. Let it begin. Let it begin. Let it begin with you. Be the joy you want to see. Then share your joy with everyone you meet. Let it begin. Let it begin. Let it begin with you. And be the love you want to see. Share that love with everyone you meet. Let it begin. Let it begin. Let it begin with you. Be the peace. Be the joy. Be the love. Oh, let it begin. Let it begin. Let it begin with you. Let it begin. Oh, let it begin. Let it begin with you and me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
That was so beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're
We got
welcome.
a few things to take care of, and then we'll be back for the last song.
Okay, thanks.
So in your mind, just imagine this basket as a place of receptivity and a place of giving. And know that you are that same place, that you are a place of receptivity and a place of giving. And just tap into that energy now and feel in your heart and get an idea that this is a place you wish to give, that you wish to support the work that's being done, knowing that we are a point of light on this planet for change, for upliftment, for beauty and freedom for all on the planet. So in your heart, if you're open, send us some of your gifts by saying thank you and knowing that they come back multiplied. And so, Valerie.
So if you use Venmo, you can just use the QR code that comes up on the screen. And you can go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org. And there are a couple of ways to give out there. PayPal and I forget what the other way is called. You can give once, you can make it recurring, and it's really pretty easy to give. We appreciate it.
So just shine your energy towards the screen and see the abundance in the world moving through you by repeating after me. In this moment, I give thanks to the Spirit of the living God.
In this moment, I give thanks to the Spirit of the living God.
Thanks for this opportunity to give and receive.
Thanks for this opportunity to give and receive.
Knowing that this continues to expand in my life.
Knowing that this continues to expand in my life.
I give freely.
I give freely.
By letting go.
By letting go.
Letting God.
Letting God.
And allowing it to be.
Allowing it to be.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Okay, hey, Robin.
Hi, thank you guys so much. I love my time with you. Absolutely. Thank you.
Us too, with you.
Yeah.
So precious.
That prayer afterwards, that was just so beautiful. It was just, well, all of your music is, and it's so touching. And it really takes us to a deep place, and we appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Today I saw the sun. I stood out in the rain and watched the eagle fly again. I heard a baby cry and walked right through the storm and felt the wind upon my face. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me, and I'm peaceful, yeah. And I'm thankful, oh, and I'm grateful, oh Lord. Yes, I am. And I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am. I hugged an old oak tree, the earth beneath my feet, and I saw a shooting star above. I looked into your eyes and I touched an open heart, and I fell into a whole lot of love. And all the time I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me, and I'm peaceful, yeah. And I'm grateful, oh, and I'm thankful, oh my Lord. Yes, I am, and I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am so peaceful, yes, I'm grateful. I'm thankful, oh, yes I am. I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so far, and I'm thankful, oh, I am. And I'm thankful, oh, I am, yes, oh, I am. So grateful, yes, so thankful, yes, yes I am, yes I am, so grateful, yes, so peaceful, yes, so thankful I am.
Lovely.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
Here are all the people that made this service possible.
Yeah.
And each and every one of you, you show up and you give of your talents and your hearts, and we're grateful, thankful. Yes, I am.
Yes.
I am.
So,
Go ahead.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
yeah.
So join us on Zoom right after this service and share your aha moments. There's a link that's going to be on the screen that you can get on Zoom. And if you miss it, it's on the website. So we'd really love to see you after the service. Does anybody have anything they want to say now before we benedict?
I do. In the comments, it has all the information for the Zoom meeting and everything. Can someone put up the information on how I can sign up to do all my Amazon gifting to the center? Because you said
Smile.amazon.com.
Can someone type that in the
Oh.
Well,
Well,
put it in the
I
comments.
don't know. I want every time that I shop on Amazon, I want it to go to the center. So how do I do that?
Yep, I could put it in the comments.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, we're out of here.
well, we got to
Yeah.
do a benediction as soon
Well-
as everybody's done. I want to hear what people have to say first.
Go ahead, Lucy.
I just have to say,
I'm so grateful too.
Would you say, Ernestine?
I want to make sure I heard Sheila, and she said, I'm so grateful too, right, Sheila?
Right.
Okay. I just want to say how grateful I am for the reading and how powerful it was for me and how comforting it was for me to know that I am divinely guided and guarded into right action, and that, that God leads me in my in everything I do, say, and think. And just knowing that I am divinely guided and guarded into right thinking. Thank you for that reading.
Oh, it's powerful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought so too.
And I just want to say in my life, so many times when I have declared something in the word, it happens. And it's like, all of a sudden you go back and say, oh, that's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, because of saying and knowing and repeating in my mind, this is the way it is. And it may not look like that right away, but it is. And so it's just very confirming.
And it was a great reminder to bring it up with someone else besides just declare it in your head. To bring it up with someone else, share it. It just makes it more real. If you hear yourself say it, that was just a great reminder.
Yes.
It does seem like it makes it more real.
Okay. Okay, so just close your eyes and join me once again. And together we move to that place of absolute gratitude, grateful for what we've got from this service, grateful for those that made it happen, grateful for everyone that's in our life, for all the good that's in our life, for the joy and the appreciation that we feel wherever we go. Grateful to know that in the oneness, everything is possible. And so from this highest, most sacred place within me, I give thanks, knowing that we all travel through this week with ease and grace and receiving all the good that is ours to have. And for this and so much more, I say thank you.
Thank you.
Let it go, let it be, and together we say,
And so it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you on Zoom.
Bye.
bye.
Bye.